If you're just joining us, welcome and good morning. This is your host, Keely Austin. It looks like as of right now, we have 113 participants. Our goal is to exceed 100, so that is great. And make sure that you do reach out to your teams. We do not want any ICMs left behind. Today, I am excited and honored to bring out our trainer, Michael Huggins. Michael and Vanessa are dear friends of mine, and I've seen the transformation that Michael has experienced from before Renatus to now, and it's been extremely inspiring. And if you don't know, Michael's background, here's a little bit of his story. Before Renatus, he found himself doing what he was told to do, which is what most of us hear. We need to go to school, get good grades, so that we can go to college, get a good career. And that's what he did. He went to school to be an auto mechanic, ended up working at Jiffy Lube, which you don't need to be an auto mechanic to work there. And then he also worked at Sears Auto. And he didn't have a car, couldn't afford one, was riding his bike to work, living in his girlfriend's mother's basement at the time, which was Vanessa. And he was very frustrated after paying off student loans for, I believe it was over a year. The balance hadn't even changed. He had just been paying interest, and this was very frustrating. He knew he needed to do something else, and so he started to look for different opportunities, and he found Renatus. He took his classes very seriously, took the marketing very seriously. He stayed up late to watch his classes, and he, brought people to meetings. And since then, he's become our top income earner in the company. He's a 7-figure income earner with Renatus. He is a President's Advisory Council member. And I'm very excited to hear what he has to share with us today. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. It's Money Monday. What an awesome weekend we had with Mr. Snyder and Scott Rowe and Woody Woodward and Ron Williams, everyone that showed up, Eric Counts, Brian Sump, Christian George, Kendall Stock, Jason Andrus. We had so many instructors at our event. It was awesome. I'm so glad so many people showed up. I don't even know the final numbers, but we were pushing 300 with the banquet. It was great, powerful event, great venue, a lot of support. So thank you to all the volunteers and helping hands and everyone that just showed up early, making the event happen smooth. It's a beautiful thing when we all come together like that. So got a lot of videos and pictures and hearing different testimonials and so many different things. Okay, so I just got a new iPad and it's telling me, oh, I see. Okay. I love learning. There we go. Ta-da. Good morning. All right. So yeah, what an awesome weekend. And a lot of people showed up from out of state. A lot of people showed up with guests as well. And, Keely had guests and Wanda had guests and Pete Smalley had guests and all kinds of people had guests. So we're also, good job focusing on using the event for a sales opportunity, not just a training opportunity. Because that's what it is, right? It's a balance between sales and training. Got to make the sales, but we also got to take some training. But if we just focus on sales without training, we could be wasting a lot of time. And if we're doing a bunch of training and not focusing on sales, we don't make any money. So we got to have that balance. Okay, so we got two regionals down. So we did Phoenix, check. Salt Lake City, check. Next is Chicago, and then New York City. I'm not going to make it to the Chicago one. Actually, no, there's one in between New York and Chicago, right? I think it's Atlanta. I got the list right here. This is an incredible event to also meet a bunch of new folks who have the same interest as you. So Chicago 18 and 19. Atlanta is October 25 and 26. Then we got New York City. That is November 1st and 2nd. Sacramento, which is November 8th and 9th. And then Seattle, which is November 15th and 16th. So we're just going right through it. Going right through it. I'm going to New York. So you're all invited to go to at least one. So that'll be 3 that I go to this year. How many you going to? Okay, so get that on your calendar, build for it, put guests in the room. All right, and just checking that everyone can still hear me okay. I just got a message from Sue. Is the audio coming through?
You're crystal clear.
Crystal clear, like the comp plan. Crystal. All right, Sue. That means you just got to turn your Bluetooth up. That's all you got to do. Okay, regionals. Moving to the top priority. Make adjustments. Make some time sacrifices, but it'll be worth it. Absolutely worth it. Okay. Well, you know, today is technically a holiday, and so some people are looking forward to the day off. But if you look around at our attendance schedule, we have a pretty high attendance. So this concept of holiday equals no work, this is only for people who don't like their work. What if we did this? Holiday equals no work. How about that? It is definitely still a day to make a difference out in the world. If you're doing something important, what do you need? What do you need a day off for? I don't need a day off. Maybe you need a couple hours off here and there, but days off, no, we've got important stuff we're doing. So good job being here. It's that consistency that's going to reward you. So what do you want to be known for, right? What is the reputation that you're after? And one of the top things for a reputation that I'm focusing on building is value. I want to be known for value. Valuable time, valuable with conversations, valuable with trainings, valuable with your customer, valuable with content creation, valuable with all kinds of stuff, with house tours. I wanted to be more valuable, so I thought, you know, this Saturday we have our Cashflow game in Denver coming up. And if you guys haven't implemented the Cashflow 101 game into your event schedule, maybe you ought to try it. So this game itself has a lot of value for our guests and for our IMAs. The guests have fun, and the ICMs get to have more exposures for their guests at the same time. So there's a bunch of value. But one thing else I wanted to do to make it more valuable was a banker training. How to actually be the banker in the event. And so I'm going to go over a little bit of that here, just so that we're using this cool marketing tool in an efficient way, because you deserve more money. That's why. All right, so for those of you who don't know, Cashflow 101 is a board game that the claim with the game is raises your financial IQ. So that's what I send out to my guests all the time. Hey, we're gonna play this board game, and for me, I don't focus on the word play as much, right? That's more of the director type language. So it depends on who. But if we were to go through this with the director language, we would say, yeah, let's play a game and get to know each other. Or with relators, we would say, yeah, get to know each other. Get to know each other. With the intellects, we're going to learn, that's where I talk about the financial IQ and learning how to make money work for you, right? So money work for you. And then we got the validators. We can say, we can help you create more income so that you could be a better provider. What does a validator want to hear about a cash flow game? Help me out. So we got our director, relator, intellect, validator, and executive. The executive, we're going to say, hey, you want to win the game. You want to create cash flow. In the numbers. For the validator.
Michael, this is Keely.
Hey.
Hi. So for the last 2 years watching Woody's trainings, I've identified as an intellect, thinking about what is important to me. And I realized that I needed to look at it from what makes me feel important. And I discovered I'm a validator.
Oh,
so
nice.
I was thinking for validator, it could be, be able to use this knowledge to show other people what you know, maybe. Like
okay.
it would make me feel good to be able to show this to other people.
So ability to share.
Yeah.
Way cool. So when you're sending out your messages and you're building for these different events, you got a cash flow game, whether you're doing cash flow every week or once a month. I think in Denver we do it every other week. Sometimes it ends up being once a month, but we try to do it at least twice. And oh yeah, you could also put for the validators, celebrate getting out of the rat race. So, so yeah, with our cash flow game, 1 to 2 times a month. Because if you start doing it every week, unless your system is built around it, which most of us, our weekly meeting is a pillars presentation. So if we start making this other weekly meeting, it's going to start competing, and people will be like, well, I can do my best to be at every one of them, but obviously that's not realistic. So we make the cash flow game like a treat. And so we decided to do ours on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon. Okay, 10 a.m. till noon. We do a few things at 9 a.m. mostly when instructors come into town. But Saturday, we decided about a year ago, we're starting at 10. So our cash flow games are 10 to noon. Our Super Saturdays are 10 to 3. But this is also really easy that it's just 10 to noon, because we can say, you still got most of your Saturday. So come play. We're done. We're finished by noon, and you still got most of your Saturday to do whatever you were going to do anyway. You were going to sleep until noon anyway. You might as well just get up here and spend some time with us. You still got most of your Saturday. And now we get to play this game. So there's 3 fun concepts I'm going to show you about this cash flow game. Okay. So one is we want to make sure that we're using the tables wisely. So here's our table. Here's the game with all the stuff and things. And then here's people. We got the banker right here with all the monies and people. And every once in a while, because more people start to show up, maybe we'll put another person at the table. So one cool thing is in this game, you're actually not competing with anyone. You can't make anyone lose or win. You're competing against yourself. So we got a banker. I would like this to be an ICM. Maybe this one be an ICM, and maybe this one be an ICM. Okay, and then the rest are guests. Guest here, guest here, guest here, guest here. We want more guests than ICMs. Hello? Okay, good. Now, a few things about being the banker, and then we'll obviously get more detail into it on Saturday when you show up. But part of being the banker is don't coach. Don't tell them how to win. Don't play for them or through them. Don't give any advice. No advice. What you're going to do, what you do is you count money. You count money and you help define things, right? And they're like, well, what does this mean? What does this stock card mean? Or what does this business card mean? What is this doodad card? What is this market card? It's fine to define what's going on the board, but don't tell them what to do or how to choose based off of what cards come up. It doesn't create any sort of frustration or any learning, really, because now you're just playing the game through another person. That's stupid. So bankers, ICMs, control yourself. Let the game happen, okay? What we want is we want people to make decisions, right? So we want to encourage decisions. They're going to be like, oh, I've never done this before. And we'll be like, wow, isn't that important that you're doing this in a game setting instead of trying to go out and do this in real life without any sort of training or guidance? Good thing you've never done it before. It doesn't look like you know what you're doing. Right? Encourage decisions. Get them to take a quote unquote risk. I mean, it's just play money at this point, and just let them decide. Let them pick. Let them go for it. So when they say, "What should I do?" you answer with, "What do you want to do? What should I do? What should I do with this card? Well, what do you want to do? Well, I want to make money. Okay. Well, can you make money with your card? Well, I don't know. Well, what does it say?" And then they read it again. Now, as a banker, the first round, right, as we're going around the board game, you want all eyes on the first person, then all eyes on the second person. And we're just going to watch them all make a decision, okay? But then as some people start to buy property, and they got their little sheet they got to fill out, right? They got all the numbers and stuff that they're working on. Okay. Sometimes it takes several minutes to fill out that sheet. So let's say, this last guest over here is the one filling out the sheet. We've already gone around again. People are buying stuff. They're rolling. And then we come up and they're still filling out the numbers, right? They're still going through things and doing math. And what's my number? You say, you know what? We're going to come right back to you. And we're just going to let the next guy have his turn again, because it's not a competition. You can't beat somebody or, make them lose. There's no first place or whatever. It's called get it out of the rat race. And so, you hand off the dice, you say, all right, buddy, your turn. Then when, we keep going around, as soon as this guy with the sheet that was a little behind, as soon as he's finished, then take the dice, give it back to him, let him roll, he'll move around, he'll pull his card, and then you give the dice back to the person who was about to go. And then he can grab his card, or she can grab her card, and then take their turn. Okay, so that's why you as the banker, your job isn't to advise. Your job is to keep the game moving. Keep the game moving, keep the money flowing. That's what the banker does. Okay, but the first round, make everyone watch each person and help them decide. And um, and then once someone's bought a deal and it's moved through the system, then people go, oh, I get it. And then we can start to really speed the thing up. Okay. Great question, sir. I recommend. So Jeremy just asked, do you recommend using the phone app or the paper? Well, for learning's sake, I really enjoy the paper for a couple reasons. One, when you start writing stuff down, you learn more. Two, not everyone brings a fully charged phone. So you got to have all this cables and power strips and everything so people can have their phone being used for a couple hours. And then I also get to keep the distraction out of their hand, right? The phone and the Facebook and the Snapchat and the distractions. I don't want to compete with that. So what we do is with the sheet is we pre-fill out some of the things. So on your sheet, pre-fill out the occupation, right? So we pick their job for them. And what's crazy is some of the jobs make like $900 a month, and some of the jobs make like $8,000 a month, and they're everywhere in between. So we pre-fill out their income, we pre-fill out their expenses, okay, so that they have a fixed number for their job, a fixed number for their payment, and then their cash flow, obviously, is the difference between what they earn and what they own. Let's say they make $2,500 and their expenses is $1,900. So you put totals here, and then you put the cash flow. The cash flow would be $600 right here. So the passive income, which is the goal of the game, right? This passive income line, everyone starts with a 0. And the name of the game is to make your passive income higher than your expenses. So if this person gets their passive income up to $1,900, now their passive income pays for their expenses, and now they're out of the rat race. They can retire. They can quit that job because their business income is paying them. Okay, so what's interesting is watching people who are trying to protect this cash flow line, when really the whole point of the game is the passive income line. So sometimes they buy a deal and that 600 cash flow, whatever, goes down to 200. And they go, ah, crap, I did it wrong. My numbers went down. But also their passive income went up by 200, and they're forgetting what the heck the point of the game is, because America teaches them to focus on this number, and we're trying to get them to focus on this number. Isn't that interesting? So they're like, oh, I did it wrong, Dad. Well, how do you know? You've never done this before. What makes you think you've done it wrong? So that's the thing. As soon as we've had someone at the table go through the experience of buying a house, then we go back to the game, and now everyone goes, okay, I've seen it before. Now I get it. And then we can speed everything up. Okay. So a few other things about placement, right? Why would you make a game at the banker where everyone is an ICM? Why would you do that? And then you got a room over here, and you got one banker that's an ICM, and then you got a bunch of guests at the other table, and we go, oh, well, this is the advanced table, and this is the beginner table. Don't segregate like that. That's stupid. We're not here to learn cash flow. We're here to learn that we need to raise our financial IQ and create a need. So mix and match, right? Don't be afraid to go tap someone on the shoulder and say, hey, dude, you move over there, and you move over here, and you move over here, and you come over here. You grab your stuff, you go over here, you come over here, and arrange the room. Okay, we don't want any of this advanced beginner stuff. It's stupid. What we want are more guests. If we have more IMAs showing up and we can make advanced tables, well, why don't you go out in the hall and call some people for the next game? Okay, because this is an opportunity to create an impact in someone's life. And if you're just showing up to play a game, well, obviously you're missing the point. More guests, more guests, more guests. Okay, now what we're going to do is we've broken it up into 3 sections. So from 10 until noon. So 10 to about 10:15 is the intro and the setup. Please make it closer to 10:10. Okay, just start talking at 10 o'clock. If people are still coming in, that's what they get for being late. But don't punish the people who are on time by just sitting there wasting time. We only got 120 minutes. So 10 minutes for the intro, the setup, and then you start the game, right? You give everyone a quick little intro around the board, around the game, and keep it simple. Simple, simple. And if they're like, wow, that doesn't make sense, Beck, it will when you start playing. Then from 10:10 to about 10:50 is gameplay. Just play the game. Then from 10:50 to about 11, well, it's probably 11:05. It takes about 15 minutes. We take we pause the game. This is not a break. This is a pause. A break means that people can leave the room and go grab a snack or make a phone call or go to the bathroom. It's only 2 hours. We're not taking a break. Okay. So we're going to pause and we're going to go back to the PowerPoint and we're going to make it, or we'll go to the whiteboard, depends on how you're playing the game. And we're going to show them an example deal. So we got the card and it's got this interesting story about the card, and then there's some numbers on the card too. So we're going to teach them, only pay attention to the numbers. That's the first thing. The second thing is we're going to go over cash flow patterns. So people can start to recognize, right? You've now used 40 minutes of this gameplay. Have you done a deal yet? Have you increased your cash flow? It's all about learning cash flow patterns. Have you done it yet? So what that is we got our income and expenses here, right? Income, expense, asset, liability. And there's 3 different cash flow patterns. Okay. And we're going to call them, you could call them poor, middle class, and wealthy, or you could call it broke, average, and high financial IQ, whatever. Well, the point is, it's not about an amount. Okay, this is what's cool. It's not an amount that makes you rich. It's a pattern. Or another way of saying that is it's a habit. Or it's a process. Not an amount. An amount doesn't make you rich. A pattern or a habit or a process, that's what makes you rich. So the poor pattern, the poor habit, the poor process is when money comes in, doesn't matter how much, it comes in to the income column, we count it, whatever that is, and then we spend it, and out the expenses box it goes, in and out. That is the cash flow pattern of a broke person. Money comes in, money goes out, you don't even see it, and there it goes. And that's the life. That's paycheck to paycheck. That's, hand to mouth. We want to break that cycle, but we let them sit in it. We let them just go, damn it, that's what I've been doing. Because if they go around the board game and they don't buy a deal, they don't buy an asset, they don't do anything, and they just keep collecting a paycheck, this is all they're doing in the game. And so we want to bring that to their attention in the cash flow pattern section of this little break. Don't take too much time on it. Just move on to the next one. The next cash flow pattern is when money comes in. Well, what middle class does is they buy a liability. And anytime they buy a liability, well, a liability has an expense. So that liability creates an expense, and then the money moves out again. So this is where we get to point out, well, this is average, this is middle class, this is what most people are doing. Again, it doesn't matter the amount because it'll show them in the game. It really doesn't matter, it's the pattern. But what ends up happening is this is the rat race. This going around and around, and you take some of your income and you buy some liabilities, and the liabilities take more of your expense. You just go round and round and round we go. Rat race, rat race, rat race. This is what's happening right here. So we get to show that, point that out to people, then they start to realize, oh, crap. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe we start to put some questions in their head, start to put some doubts in their head around their financial choices. Then we say, all right, and then the last cash flow pattern is someone who earns money. They buy an asset with that money. And assets only do one thing. They put money in our pocket. And now this person gets to see that because they bought an asset, that passive income line now has some money on it. And then we take that money and pay the expenses. Okay, so the wealthy make money work for them. Middle class works for money and works for their liabilities, works for their doodads, and broke people are working for food. Just in and out every day. So that's, we spend maybe 5 minutes on that. I don't want to spend too much time on it. So we give them a quick little instructions on how to read a deal card. Okay, because some people didn't pay attention the first few times. Then we show them the cash flow patterns. And then the third thing is we give them, we ask them a question, who do you know that could benefit from this information? If you know someone, you'd be willing to invite them to a workshop or something like this where they can learn. If you're willing to include more people in something like this, raise your hand. And then we say, bankers, look around. Anyone that has their hand up, they get $10,000. So all these people that were sitting around, it's the question, who do you know that could, do you guys know someone that could benefit from learning this stuff? And they say, yes. You say, okay, well, would you be willing to introduce them, or would you be willing to include them, or would you be willing to invite them to come play with you next time? Or, if you see some benefit here, would you be willing to invite them? Raise your hand. Hey, bankers, look around. Whoever has their hand up, give them 10 grand. And now they go, wait a minute. I just got paid to raise my hand. I just got paid to have a willingness to include. And then we say, well, all right, everyone, real quick before we jump back into the game, why do you think we did that? What was the point of that? And I really try to call on guests, because the IMA is like, you guys are not, you're not sneaky, right? Like you don't, like you say the exact answer the exact way. Ugh, I want some authenticity. So I call on the guest. Why do you think I did that? Well, I don't know, because partnerships? Yeah, exactly. For partnerships. Why else do you think we would give money for including like this? Yeah, because if we have more people, we can make more money. Partnerships. Perfect. All right, well, now let's jump back into the game and we do a quick little bonus section. Here's a deal. Right? Here's a deal. Here's the cash flow it could make. Here's the cost. Here's the mortgage on it. Do you want to do the deal? And now that we've taught them how to read a card, we kind of challenged their paradigm. We put money in their hand. Now, do you want to do a deal? We say, all right, if this deal criteria works for you, go ahead and give the banker the down payment and get to work. And now all these people who didn't raise their hand are seeing people get 10 grand and now they have money to buy a deal. It makes them just think, maybe I'm being selfish by keeping this to myself, because now that we're sharing, they got all this money and now they're buying deals and getting out of the rat race. So anyway, we take all that time up, 11:05, 15 minutes. You got to go fast. You got to stay on point with it. And then from 11:05 to about 11:50 is the speed round. Play as fast as you can. Try to do as many deals as you can. No side conversations. And we try to get out of the rat race. Try to make our passive income higher than our total expenses. And then right at 11:50, we do like a 2-minute countdown. All right, 2 minutes, hurry up, finish your deal. 3 minutes, whatever. Okay, we got 1 minute. All right, last card, hurry up, guys, finish your deal. All right, time's up. Time's up. Who got out of the rat race? Woohoo! Clap, cheer. Good job, whoever did it. Who bought a deal? Woohoo! Yay! Everybody. Okay, and then for a few minutes, what we'll do is we go around the room and we ask for aha moments. Aha! What's an aha moment? Usually we just ask for one from each table. And we usually ask a guest to do it, right? Because the IMAs just try to sell during their aha moment. And I'd rather a guest just take home some ahas. So if you can pass the microphone around too so that the guests can share and everyone can hear, that'd be even better. And we just say, all right, what was an aha moment you had around debt? What was an aha moment you had around cash flow? What was an aha moment you had around charity? There's a charity game or a charity option in the game. What's an aha moment you had around doodads? And, just ask people to share real quick. Go around the room. Then the last slide is building for the next event, right? The last slide, so right at 12, we put up a slide that builds for either a house tour or the pillars presentation, or especially if you got an intensive or a Super Saturday coming up, that last slide to promote an event that says, all right, well, why don't we take this from the game, right? Take us from the game to real life. That's what we're doing. So why don't you come to the next Wednesday, Wealth Wednesday workshop, where you can learn how to take the principles from this game and apply it in real life and start making a real result for yourself. Then we play some music and start cleaning up. After the music, excuse me. Please don't start cleaning up until after the music is playing, okay? Some people think that right here, because we've actually technically ended the gameplay at 11:50, that they're gonna spend that 10 minutes cleaning up the board game. But that is so distracting. That is too distracting. Because as we're asking for these aha moments, if you're the banker, you're the IMA that's starting to clean up, then all of a sudden that guest takes their eyes off the front board or off of whoever's speaking. They want to be helpful, so they start cleaning up. And now, great, you spent 5 minutes and your board's cleaned up, but now you've been out of the conversation. Your guest doesn't know what the heck they're doing. They missed the aha moments. They missed the slides. They missed the promotion for the next thing. So wait until after, right at 12:01, start the cleanup. Not while the speaker is speaking. Cool. So that's what we're going to focus on this Saturday with a few more things that we'll be doing for banker training. But these cash flow games, you go buy a game, $50, $100. Get an old version so it actually has the sheets, the paper sheet, right? We want the actual paper that they need to fill out and work on. And just have some fun with it. If you've never done it in front of guests, then maybe just do a few practice games that are just team members, just ICMs, so you kind of get more of a feel for it before you start inviting guests. But it's another great exposure. Once or twice a month, you get it going, and then you just build, edify for the next upcoming whatever. Cool. Okay, now I got a few minutes for questions before we wrap up. So you can type in your question or you can come off of mute. But let's create some clarity around this or any other questions you have. I got just a few minutes before we're out of here.
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
When you're doing the slides that you put in there, what can you repeat what kind of slides you put in there for your little spots?
At
So
the end?
I mean,
the BFE, build for events.
okay.
Everyone's got to know which event to go to next.
Okay. So during the game, then we just do the game and get the introduction to just how money works, and then go from there to the next event.
Correct, because we want intrigue, we want frustration, we want
awesome.
we want one of their aha moments to be like, oh well, I had a realization during the game. I don't know what I'm doing.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So yeah, if you're we've stacked the game over here and we got guests and ICMs, don't let them win. Let their frustration, like you as the ICM, you want to be helpful. It's your guest. You want to be like, oh, I know what to do. Here, fill this out this way and buy this deal. Don't do that. Don't coach. Okay, let them get mad. Let them lose. Let them get frustrated. Let them walk out of there going, damn it, I didn't win. Because with that frustration, it creates a need down here for the next event. If they figured out and they beat the game, then they go, what do I need you guys for? I already beat the game. I'm gonna move on with my life. But if for 2 hours they haven't figured out how to get passive income to exceed their expenses, and then we say, would you like to learn how to do this in real life? Come to our house tour, or come to our pillars, or come to this Super Saturday that we're doing. Then they go, okay, I'm gonna try this again because I didn't beat this stupid board game. So let them lose. Sherry, you got a question?
I do have a question. So on our 10-hour drive from Utah to California, we started brainstorming about what can we do, like you said, to build intrigue for people coming to the briefings or the property tours, like something to give them until they get there, right? So I know you've talked about this, and Bob talked about this also, about videos, I think in AMP, that you could put on your business cards, like the links, so you could put on your business card. But then as we were trying to find that on either Helios or the back office, we couldn't find that. So could you show how to find that right now?
Sure.
Okay.
So you need to actually sign up for the AMP system in your business center. So let me pull this up, secure.myrenatus.com. I'm going to log in here. Okay, and now there's a button right up here at the top called AMP. Hit the AMP button. Then, if this is the first time that you've come into AMP, you're going to have to sign up for it. So you come over here, you click on the settings button, and now you get to start filling some stuff out. Put in your name, put in a picture, put in your phone number. And now under the settings menu, we have 3 more things. We got the contact info, the website, and the campaign. So click on the website, and now over here, you got to activate them. So actually, if you're brand new, you won't have these 4 slides to activate. You'll have a spot that says claim your name. So obviously I picked my name, so original, right? But like Pete picked wealthybydesign.myrenatus.com, or you could put your company name or whatever you want, as long as it's compliant, of course. And then so that whatever site name you picked, so obviously Michael's in front of all these .myrenatus.com, .investre.com, all these different. So today you're going to go in and just pick a name. Then corporate will approve it. Then when you log back in tomorrow, you'll have 4 different fields like I have, and then you can activate or make inactive your different sites. Then this is the website that you put onto your business cards. And then under the email settings or the campaign settings, so you click on that, and then you just check this box here, this notification method, check the box, make the campaign active, and that's it. Then when you go to a new page and you type in that cool new, you just type it in right here, michael.myrenatus.com. michael.myrenatus.com. Here you go. And then right down there is that picture I put in, the phone number I put in, my name that I put in. That's pretty easy.
Thank you.
That's it. You got it. All right, guys, I got to hop on the PAC call. I appreciate you being here, spending time, paying attention, putting your guests or your IMAs on here. Let me train your IMAs. It's all about leverage and teamwork. So keep up the good work. We'll see you next week. We'll see you at our events this Saturday. Stay focused. Keep an eye on the calendar. And use this stuff. Go to another regionals. It's not a holiday.
Michael.
Yeah, you bet, Cody. Thanks for showing up. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye, everybody.